Parkour was originated in France for the army. It was basically a new way of moving faster, basically using your environment to get from A to B as fast as you can.
As smoothly as possible, place to place. This is parkour, a sport from across the pond that's making noise.
Parkour, but it's spelled with a K, and it's the art of getting from A to B gracefully.
When it hit the main media, it kind of turned into free running, which involved a lot more creativity, a lot more flips. So it wasn't necessarily about efficiency, but it was more about how it looked.
It's just a pastime. It's a sport that we do instead of football or cricket. We do parkour. It's just a different sport.
People are learning about the positive outlooks of it, but the negative side is still there, just because it's not what society's used to at all. We get a lot of people who are like, oh wow, that's amazing, do that again, or they'll get the cameras out and start filming. But then we get a lot of people who obviously react negatively towards it. Taking a route up a wall rather than around it is seen as a little bit strange.
I don't really approve of it being done on the memorial. No, I think you could find a better spot.
So this is the Bournemouth War Memorial. Obviously, being a war memorial, it's got a certain level of respect surrounding it. So lots of members of the public sometimes voice their opinion as to our training on there. It's probably one of the most controversial places we train. We always explain how what we're doing isn't meant in a disrespectful way. We never damage anything here. We never climb on the actual structure itself. It's hard because it's covered with such respect and there's such authority around it.
It's a fun thing you're trying to do, and that was not a fun thing at all.
If there's a big group of us here training, it can be quite intimidating for someone to come up and talk to us, but we're always welcome for people to just have a chat about what we're doing. Kids are automatically drawn to it because it's something that they can relate to. They want to do it.
It gives you like a good way, like a good attitude towards life. It's something that you love, and I think that's important to do in your life. It's important to do like something you love.
My parents never stopped me climbing and stuff. I always went to the park, always climbed over play parks. I always did. I always climbed over the sofas at home or ran up the stairs and slipped down the barrier and stuff like that. They taught me to be creative.
My mum at first was like really scared, really worried about me, but she's kind of come to terms now about what I do, and she's really supportive behind it and everything.
I try and connect with as many parents as I can to show them that it is actually safe, and we are taking the proper precautions to make sure their child's doing it correctly.
If I'm doing like big roof gaps and like white stuff, then she gets quite a bit protective.
Obviously, our parents are going to be a little bit hesitant letting their kids go out into kind of hardened areas to try and train it, which is why we always try and push the kids into the safer kind of gymnastics-y areas where they can do it with a bit more protection. The younger kids now are growing up looking at our videos that we made when we were their age, so I think they kind of look up to us that way, and then we can kind of show them the right way to do it and show them that it's not all about the bigger moves.
I couldn't do anything like that when I was at school. Very clever indeed, and it's very good. It's nice to see it.
I think it's good. It's shown a good thing for their time. I think it's good because seeing the youth do things positive. It's good entertainment too for the tourists.
We work really well together because we're both the similar level and we can push each other's boundaries really nicely. And I mean, I know your limits quite well. So if I think that Andy can't do something, I'll tell you. Same way. Yeah, and then you'll prove me wrong.
You don't like it when things are just out of my reach?
I don't like the majority of the public view on freerunning. I'm in full-time education and Andy has a full-time job, so it's not like we both don't have other other responsibilities.
I think the people that believe we don't have anything going for us or we are vandals, I don't think they're educated necessarily in what free running or what parkour is.
Their brains have kind of been programmed to take the easiest route, and that's the least fun route, I would say. People should be more lenient and more respectful of what we do, as we are respectful of their property.
We don't want to hurt anyone or disturb the peace. We don't want to do anything like that. They ask what you're doing, explain, because ultimately if you're rude, they'll just say, okay, move on, and then next time they come by, they'll be looking for you. And if they see you, they'll stop again and they'll tell you to move on, and then you eventually lose that point, that area for training, and it could be a really good training area as well.
I think it's understandable. I mean, the amount of time that society has kind of rejected the idea of being that kind of person and doing those kind of things, you really have to kind of open your mind up and look outside the box a little bit. A lot of people think a flight of stairs, you walk down it, whereas we think we might slide down the rail. This is a good way to kind of release stress, have a bit of fun and make new friends and kind of see the world in a bit of a different way than you normally would.
If we want to change the public's view on freerunning, we need to all work as like a whole community. The whole freerunning society would need to work together to give the whole sort of positive attitude of the sport.
I think this year holds quite a lot in store for our freerunning journey.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Not talking